Naveen, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay, then fine. So we can start. So, so today we can discuss. So do you have any doubts on HTML? So we have completed the HTML. Now we are starting the CSS. So quickly, so if you have any doubts on HTML, so you can ask me. I already shared all the PPTs regarding the HTML. Okay. So then, so if you don't have any doubts, so we can continue to the CSS.
Sir, autoplay is not working. Video, audio,
Yes, yes. So in this browser, so it is not working for YouTube video, for videos or audios. Autoplay is not working because of we didn't run through the server. So we have to place that into the server. Then only so autoplay is working. Okay. Yep. So any other doubts? Okay, then fine. So we'll continue to the CSS. So in this, so first one, so what is CSS? Why and where we can use and how to integrate the CSS to the HTML. So then types of CSS. Then we can start with the selectors. Okay. So first one is what is CSS? So CSS means cascading style sheet. It's a full form. Okay, it's a full form of CSS. So CSS allows you to create a great look and feel. Allows to create a great look and feel websites or web pages. Okay, so basically using HTML, we are creating the skeleton. Using HTML, we are creating the skeleton of the web page. So to beautify that page, so we have to use the CSS, cascading style sheet. Okay, so CSS stands for, so you have to understand what is cascading style sheet here. Here CSS follows some hierarchy. CSS follows some hierarchy. Okay, so then we can see that CSS stands for cascading style sheet. In CSS full form, cascading is very important for cascading is very important. So if you don't know about this hierarchy, so it is very difficult to understand the CSS. So you have to know so what it is happening for which element we are applying the CSS for. So for which element we are going to design. Okay, so we have to know. So what is selector? So what type of selector it is? So we are having the different type of selectors in CSS. So what are the different type of selectors? So for which selector we are going to apply the CSS? Okay, so we have to know clearly about that one. So otherwise we are confusing about the CSS. Okay, so first one. So if you don't understand the concept of cascading, that it may happen that CSS applied to an element doesn't work. Okay, so basically CSS is developed by the Mozilla organization. According to the developer, Mozilla.org. Okay, so Firefox. So cascading is the mechanism of selecting which CSS rule to apply to an element. Which CSS rule? So we are going to apply which element. We have to know that. Suppose, suppose, okay, sorry. For suppose, so in our web page, so we are having so two paragraphs or two headings. So but for two headings, so we are going to separate the colors. So first heading so one color and second heading is another color. Okay. So at the same time, so for paragraph one, so we are giving one color and second paragraph we have to give the another color. So these type of things are having. So how we can apply the CSS? So that way of mechanism we have to understand. Okay, so we can see this just simple example. Simple example. So HTML. So close HTML. So then inside of that one, so height and close height. Inside title. So then close title. CSS first example. So then body, close body. Okay. So inside of body, so I have one heading H1. Okay, first heading. Okay, so then H1 close, and this one is H1 second heading. So H1 is close. Now I want to apply this CSS for both the headings. So now created, so then this 31.html. Okay, so now I have HTML file. So first I am going to execute this one 31.html. Okay, now both are having same colors. Now, so what you are doing, so for you have to apply the CSS for heading 1 and head. So first heading and second heading. So then, so here I am creating the style tag. Style tag. So this is one process to apply the CSS for pages. I'll explain you. So first we have to understand the hierarchy. So I am writing H1, H1. So then color is color are red and font size 50 pixel. Okay, okay, both are applied. But again, I want to variate this one. Second heading, I want to variate it. So how I can hide it? So again, how you can write? So H1. So again, so we don't know. So in the CSS file, so we are having more than 3,000 lines, more than 5,000 lines. Okay, so here we are having the 3,000 lines. Okay, we are having 3,000 lines, so we don't know what it is. Okay, so client is suddenly asked the requirement, so I want to change the color of the heading. I want to change the color of the heading. So then color gray. I applied the color gray. Saved or not? Gray. Okay, now you can see both the headings colors is changed. Okay, both the heading colors is changed. So then how can we variate this one? So if you can change for, so but client is requested, he wants to change only second heading. Okay, he wants to change the second heading. So then how we can do that one? So we have to understand. So just we know the selector of H1. So then we are right. We write the CSS. So then suddenly all the headings are changed. Okay. So we have to give the one either class equal to, okay, my heading. So I'm created one class for this one. So then I am applying the CSS for this class. Okay, now you can see. So first heading is the red color and second heading is green color. Okay. So then again, so you write. So for again another client, another guy is came. So then I want to change the color of. I want to change the color of again heading. Again heading. So then again suddenly someone came. H1. So color is orange. You see. So, but I want to change the second heading. I want to change the second heading. So then, so we can write like this. So again, if you can write like this here, so both the CSS are same, right? So both the CSS are same. So here also we are written, but here also we are written. So this is a duplication. Okay. So these type of things to avoid, we are having the unique selector. We have to use the selectors concept. So this way hierarchy we have to understand. So first it will work from starting line onwards. First it will work from line 1 onwards. So for suppose, so here, so first I am applying the my heading class, so I am applying the green color. So again, so after that, so I am applying the my heading for orange color. So then which one is which one is applied? So last CSS, whatever heading is there, whatever class is there, so only that will work. Okay, previous things won't work. Okay, so last one, so which property is there? So then that property is applies for HTML element. Okay, so that type of hierarchy, if you can understand, so you can easily write the CSS. Okay, clear? So that is what. So if you can understand that type of thing is called hierarchy, cascading. So that CSS mechanism is called cascading. Okay, so then so we are applying the styles, then that is called the cascading style sheet. Clear? So that is what CSS. Okay, so the next one is, so why to use the CSS? Let's see some important aspects of why CSS is essential for a website. So CSS saves time. First thing is CSS save time. So then how CSS will save time? So we can see. You can easily understand how the CSS, our time is saved using CSS. Okay. So then here, see simple concept. It saves a lot of time as one style sheet can be used. As one style sheet can be used on multiple pages, there is no need to write the same CSS styles on all the pages. Okay, for suppose if you can take this one as an example, so then again I am creating another page. Okay, in one application, in one website. So we don't know how many pages are having inside of the website, inside of the application. We are having the many pages. Okay, so for that one, so we are having the heading one, heading. So then we have to apply the color green for all the headings. So then, so we can define one style sheet. So then we can include that style sheet for all the pages. So then we don't need to write for all the pages. It's automatically applies that property to that style to all the headings. So no need to write in all pages. So that will save a lot of time if we can use one style sheet. Okay, so that is the one. Next one, multiple device compatibility. Multiple device compatibility. So multiple device compatibility means, so for suppose if we are using the different devices, I want to run application in different devices like so laptop and desktop and tab and mobile phone and bigger screens also. Using CSS, so we can achieve that one using media queries. In CSS, we are having a concept called media queries. Using media queries, we can we can write the device compatibility CSS. That means screen wise CSS. For suppose my laptop is having 1366. Okay, so then so 1366 how my application looks like. I can write the CSS for my device using media query, and also my desktop width is 1900. So for that also we can write the CSS using media queries. Then page load faster. So when we use the same style sheet in the multiple web pages, then the loading of the pages gets faster because of reusing of the code. Okay, because of reusing of the code. When we use, so basically we can load the CSS three ways: inline, internal, and external. Okay, so we have to always consider external style sh- external style sheet instead of applying the inline and internal. So then our pages will load very quickly because of, so whenever you are writing HTML element in one page we are having the 3000 lines of 3 or more than, so more than 1000 lines of the code we are writing the more than 1000 HTML elements we are writing. So for each and every element, so per paragraph also it will take some time. So per div also it will take some time. So each and every HTML element to execute and provide the to display the output in the browser, it will take some time. Okay, so if you can include the more attributes inside of inside of HTML elements, that will also take some time. Okay, so that will also take some time. So that's why, so if we can decrease the attributes of HTML element and write the CSS, all the CSS in one file using external concept, then we can improve our web page. Okay, so then global web standards. So the web standards are now deprecating the use of basic HTML. Okay, styling attributes, and it is being recommended to use CSS. Okay, so that means, so for example, best example is font. In the HTML, we are having the font tag. So if we can use the font tag in the HTML, so every time we have to write what is the font style for that one. So what is the font size of that one? So then what is the color of that one? So we have to mention for each and every attribute for each and every HTML element. So that will be very difficult. So instead of that using, so we can use the styles. Okay. So that is what global web standards. So to avoid the attributes, so then we can use the styling. Clear up to here? So this why we are using the CSS for the web pages. So the next one is, so integrate the CSS with HTML. How many ways we can include the CSS with HTML? Okay, CSS is the different than HTML. So one is for HTML, one is to create a skeleton. Okay, one is markup language and other one is style sheet. Okay, so HTML is generating the skeleton and CSS is to integrate that CSS to the HTML element, and we can beautify the our web page. Okay, both are different. So then how we can integrate? HTML has a tag called style tag. HTML has a tag called style tag. It is a paired tag. So one is open and closing tag. So inside of that style tag, we can write the style. We can write the style. Okay. So first one is style. So here we are already written. So this is the one style and closing tag. So this is a pair tag, style open tag and close tag. Inside of this one, so we can write all the CSS. What is the syntax for this one to write the CSS? So for suppose here we are writing the heading tag. Okay, for suppose I have a paragraph tag. Okay, sample text for writing the CSS. So then close paragraph tag, right? Here is the close paragraph tag. So then after that, I have a, so I want to write the CSS for paragraph. So when I execute this one, so by default, each and every HTML element is having the default CSS, that is browser agent CSS. It is called the user agent CSS. Browser can provide the CSS, default CSS. That CSS is called the user agent CSS. So to override this one, so we can choose the CSS. Okay. Now I want to increase the font size, and also I want to change the color of this font. I want to change this color of the text. Okay. First thing, so we want to choose the selector, which element you are going to write. So I want to change the paragraph element text size and text. So you cannot write H1. Okay. So we are going to write the paragraph. So that's why. So we are choosing the paragraph p tag. So this p is called the selector. This P is called selector. So the next one is the definition block. This braces is called the definition block or normal blocks. Okay. So now inside of this one, so what type of property you are going to apply? So what type of property you are going to apply to that paragraph? We are choosing as a selector paragraph element. So we are going to apply the CSS for paragraph. So then what property you are going to apply? For suppose I want to increase the font size. So then font size, okay, font size. So then 30 pixels. So here, so font size is the property. Okay. So then 30 pixel is the value. 30 pixel is the value. Okay, so then so we can apply the multiple properties to one element. So here my requirement is I want to increase the font size as well as I want to increase the color of that text color of paragraph. Okay, now I can include the color yellow. Yellow. Okay, now you can see. Okay. So this is the way we can apply the CSS. What is the syntax? So first one, we have to choose the selector, which element you are going to apply. So then after that, we have to open brace and code brace. This brace is called the block of code. We are writing the block of code inside of these braces. That's why we are called these two braces is called the block. Okay, so then first we have to write the property, what type of property. So then font size, sorry, value. Okay, so then so second property and value. So this is the syntax. This is the syntax to apply the CSS. Okay, see here it is. Here it is. So first one is the selector. A selector is A selector is any HTML element we want to style like paragraph or div or so whatever it may be. So either an order list, either image img tag, either anchor tag. So whatever it may be. So we have to know exactly which element we are going to write the CS, which element we are going to write. So then after that a declaration block, that braces is called the declaration blocks. So then next one is the syntax. Okay, first one is the property. A property is a kind of quality. What type of quality we are going to provide? What type of quality we are going to apply to that element, that selector? Okay, so then value. Every CSS property has a value. Every CSS property has a value which will give the different result for particular property. Okay, different result for the particular property. So if we can observe the example here, so we are increasing the font size 30 pixel and we are changing the color yellow. We are applying the color to the text, so yellow. Clear? So this is the CSS syntax. Next one is types of CSS. Okay, types of CSS: inline CSS, internal CSS, and external CSS. Inline CSS gives the CSS style to particular HTML element only. You can observe the difference here. Inline CSS gives the CSS style to particular HTML element only. So then internal CSS defines the CSS a particular web page only. No other web pages can inherit this CSS style from internal CSS. Okay. So then external CSS. External CSS is the whole new. So we can write the all the CSS code into one file and we can save that file as a .css .css, and it can be added and we can include that CSS file for multiple pages. Okay, so therefore, so we can apply that style to various pages from single CSS file. Okay, here we are having the three type of CSS. One is inline CSS, internal CSS, and external CSS. Now we can see how the inline, internal, and external CSS. We copying the same thing, new, and types 32.html. Okay, now see, yeah. So here, so for time being, we are commenting this one. Okay, we comment. Why is it not commented? Okay, so this is the comment for styles. So then commented. All the CSS is commented. CSS integration are types of CSS. Types of CSS. So the next one, first one, so inline CSS. Okay, so here if you can observe, so I have one paragraph and another paragraph I have, two paragraphs I have. So now, so inline CSS means inline CSS. So inside of open tag, if you can write any attribute, we have to write the first open tag only. So this is the open tag and this is the closing tag. So we cannot write the any attribute inside of closing tag. We have to write all the attributes inside of open tag only. Okay. So in this, So I'm writing the inline style. Okay. So style equal to either you can use the double quotes or single quotes, no problem. Okay. So then now font size, font size. So 25 pixel. Okay. So then color yellow, color. All right. Okay. Here if you can observe, okay, font size is 25 pixel and color is red. So what we are saying, so for internal CSS, inline CSS gives the CSS style to particular HTML element only, not for all the HTML elements. So it will apply. So wherever we are writing, only that CSS applies to that HTML element only. Now here, so we are written. So the CSS for first paragraph only. So this will applicable only for first paragraph, not for second paragraph. Okay. Now if you can see 32.html. See, where is the CSS? Save this one and 32.html. Why it is not commented? Okay, now sequence. Okay, sample text for writing the CSS. We have written only that specific CSS only. But second paragraph also there. Okay, second paragraph also there. If I want to apply the CSS for second paragraph, again I have to write. Again I have to write. Okay, for suppose I have to apply the same. Okay, I have to apply the same. So then again I have to copy and paste it here. Okay, so then so same way, so in one web page we are having a multiple paragraphs. So then every time we have to write the inline CSS. Okay, so that will be very difficult, and also the web page speed also decrease. So it will load. So within 1 second, so if our web page needs to load within 1 second, so if we can write the inline CSS, then our web page will load in 10 seconds. Okay. So then meanwhile, so no one can wait our web page, then they can immediately close that web page, then he can see the other alternative. Okay. So then so inline CSS we cannot use. Okay, so whenever we require least cases, so you can use it. It's not a problem. When so if there is no option to apply the CSS, then you can use the inline CSS. Clear? So this is the inline CSS. Basically, inline CSS means it will applicable only that specific HTML element. So the next one is the internal CSS. Next one is the internal CSS. Internal CSS. Now, so then we don't, I want to apply the CSS for same for both the paragraphs. No need to write, so inline. Okay, so I'm choosing the concept called so internal CSS. Now, so here if you can see it here, so inside of header tag, so I am opening the style tag. So then closing the style tag. So in between the style tags, we have to write the all the CSS code. So now, so if I want to apply the all the paragraphs to the same CSS, then so I can choose the selector, then I am writing the CSS font size 30 pixel, color so yellow. Okay, so then it is applied. So if you can write any number of paragraphs, if you can write any number of paragraphs, same CSS will apply. Okay, sample text. Okay, same CSS will apply. Right, is not say paragraph close. Okay, whatever.